Buonasera ragazzi, welcome back to another YouTube tutorial. Today we have a flawless skin fade method that I definitely think you guys should try. It's genuinely it's foolproof, you can't go wrong with it. But we're going to kickstart off with a 3.5 on top, and you can see that I'm hitting it at all angles because the afro hair is quite spirally. It grows out in all kinds of directions, so we want to make sure that we get every bit of hair and it's all the same length so we can get the sharpest outcome possible. So with our baseline, we're going to go for a mid fade. Where it starts to curve, we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to keep the edges straight because we want the haircut to look as sharp as possible. And with Callum's hair, he does get bumps, so I didn't actually foil it, I just went against the grain backwards with my trimmers to get the sharpest and longer lasting haircut. With his hairline, we're going to take it down to a 2 instead of a 3.5, so this will give us a sharper shape up. And then we're going to set it with some hairspray, so we can, when it comes to shaping up, we've got all the hair and we've got the sharpest outcome possible. And then we're going to go with a 0.5 no guard open, about a finger whip spread, and then we're going to work our way through the lever and get rid of that bottom line. So in this video, I use a lot of techniques that I feel like a lot of barbers use, but they're a bit scared to use because they don't know what the outcome is going to be like. So make sure you stay tuned to see them, because I will be explaining through them a little bit more. But as we get rid of this bottom line, I want you to notice that I'm not using all the full blade all the time. I'm using the corners as well, and I'm using a nice rocking motion instead of digging in. I'm flicking out, but I'm rubbing at the same time. It's hard to explain, but if you can see, right now I'm using the corners, but it's a rub and rock. Let's call it the rub and rock, because his hair's quite thick. I need to get the clippers through his hair, so making sure that I can get the sharpest outcome possible. But look, again, using the corners, it just breaks up the fade a little bit more and allows you to get a nice smoother blend, and the outcome looks more blurry as well. And another thing with afro hair, guys, you have to brush the hair down. You have to. When I get onto the one guard, you'll see that I'll put my clippers through and it will just clump up, so you have to brush it down. I always say with afro hair, it's generally just a process. You don't ever see it coming together until it starts to come together. You've just got to trust your process and keep going through with it until you see it come together. So now onto the one guard, and we'll do about a finger whip spread. And like I said, it's a rub and rock motion with this type of hair. Flicking out really doesn't make it really much of a difference, but it's a rub and rock. I'm going to call it the rub and rock. And we're just going over it until we're happy with the way it's looking, with the way the guard line's looking. And we're going to follow the same process we did with the 0.5. We're going to work our way through the lever until we knock out that line and it's blended nicely into the 0.5. But you'll see in a minute what I do to help the blend from the 0.5 to the 1. See, with afro hair, I feel like the way that you treat the hair is what your outcome's gonna be like. So say for instance, you treat it with roughness, it's gonna be a rough fade. You treat it soft, it's gonna be a soft fade. So like, try and be gentle with the hair. I think the way that you treat the hair is the way that the haircut's gonna end up. So now I'm going with the open blade again with the grain. This is technically a 1. This just allows me to blend in a little bit better. And look how I'm holding the clipper. It's like a pencil, and I'm using the corners just to break that fade up a little bit more. Like I said, this is going to be a short tutorial just because I want you guys to take in as much knowledge from just the fading method itself. So yeah, I hope you guys do enjoy this video. If you do, make sure you give it a like and subscribe for more, and comment down below what you think to this fading method. If you give it a go, let me know. So now we're on to the 1.5 guard. Open. My hair's in the way. And we're just going to set a baseline. Another baseline, sorry, another guideline. You see what I mean by the hair clumping up? I should have really brushed it then. I brush it, I get my comb and I do it with my comb. Now with the 2 guard, I know I did a 3.5 on top. I'm going to use my 2 guard. I'm going to push through a fair bit. And I'm going to keep brushing it because look, the hair's clumping up. It's not so bad when it's a shorter lengths, but when it starts to get a bit longer with your longer guards, it starts doing it a little bit more often. So rub and rock. See what I'm saying? Rub and rock, baby. You've got to go over it a couple of times. You've got to. It's not just a one pass and it's done. So going with the grain like this is just going to allow the hair to sit a bit flatter. And this is probably about a 3.5 if I go with the grain with a 2. And now after we've done that, we're going to slowly work our way through our 1.5 guard, blending in that 1.5 to the 1. And then we're going to do the same with the 2 after we've got a nice smooth blend. But this is just the process that I use. I'm not saying I'm done, but this is just the process that I'm using, and then at the end of the process I'll go in and refine it. Because there's a lot of corner work you need to do with this type of hair. If you want a nice sharp broken down fade, it's a lot of corner work. Like even now with 1.5 I'm using my corner there. But this is just letting me get the hair to sit as flat as possible and get a nice smooth blend. So this is my chunky one. I use my thin one to set the guideline for the 1, and then I use a chunky one to blend against from the 1.5 into the 1, because this is technically a 1.5 shut, but just gets a little bit closer. So I'm just going to leave you guys to watch the rest of this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and comment down below what you want to see next and how you got on with this method. I'll see you guys in the next video.